On this case, we're going to use Vertise Flow for a small Class 1 restoration, and in my mind, this is one of the areas where Vertise Flow really shines, because you're going to see that in this type of restoration, it really makes the entire restoration so simple and so profitable and so easy, and you're going to look forward to these types of restorations, I think. We've gone in and cleaned it out with a little fissured burr and then 5 seconds of air. Again, we're drying the dentin. We want dry dentin. That's how we get the highest bond strength with the Vertise Flows to dry dentin. It will bond to moist dentin as well if you prefer to leave it that way, because that's how you were trained. So we're going to fill. We're using the syringe tip to fill up about half of the restoration here. I might have done a little more there, but we're going to use the enclosed paintbrush to thin this material. And you can see not only are we thinning it along the cavity preparation floor, but we're smearing it up the walls. So we're covering all the dentin and the cut enamel, really just covering everything here with the Vertise Flow, agitating it into the tooth structure about 15 to 20 seconds. We're curing it here for 20 seconds because this is the shade A2. If this was a shade A3.5, for example, or the universal opaque, we would want to cure it for 40 seconds. I've found the A2 to be kind of the universal shade of the Vertise Flow, and it looks good on just about everybody. So we're curing that for 20 seconds. So that initial layer is in place, and it's about 0.5 millimeter thick. So I probably only need about another millimeter of their Vertise Flow here, so I'm placing it directly on top of that first layer, the liner that was smeared along all that tooth structure. And again, this is a restoration that typically we would probably restore with a flowable composite anyway. So the fact that it happens to be a self-adhering flowable composite makes it even easier. And again, I'm using that enclosed brush to kind of shape it and just remove a little of the excess. I know I need a central groove in this restoration, and so I'm just using the paintbrush to smear it a little bit. We don't really need any agitation at that point. I'm just removing some of the excess. Again, we're going to cure it for 20 seconds, and I'm using a slightly dull 7408 burr just to go in and place a couple planes in there and make sure we don't have any excess at the margin. And then using the high luster composite polishing points to go in and smooth this off and make sure that we have a nice transition from the composite to the tooth surface. And this is one of my favorite little instruments. This is the Ocla brush being used. It's got built-in polishing paste in the bristles, so there's no separate polishing paste that's necessary. And it also does a really good job of removing any excess or flash that happens to be on another part of the tooth. And as you look at the before and after, you can see that we were able to do a pretty quick, direct posterior Class 1 composite here with very little effort and very nice results.